Hello, everybody. All right, so we have some people in here already. As always, if you guys can help out, see if we can get some more people engaged by liking and sharing the stream, that would help out, be appreciated very much. Also, if anything we talk about tonight grabs your attention, feel free to comment and/or ask questions, and I will try to answer the questions to the best of my ability. With that, let's see now. As it were. All right, so two people. So maybe we'll wait a few minutes to give people a chance to come in. Hopefully everybody's doing well tonight. Let's see. Just give it a couple minutes to give people a chance to come in if get along gang, get along gang. Each one is special in their own way. Coming about the get along gang, get along gang. Get up with the get along gang. When you know it's okay. Get up with the get along gang. Oh, get up. And they Hong Kong Fooey, number one super guy. Hong Kong Fooey, quicker than the human eye. Chiggy chong, chiggy wong wong. Hong Kong Fooey, that's terrific. Anyways, we're just, as I said, just waiting for more people to show up here. Wind up on the bean, Yogi Bear. Da, 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 da. Okay, so let's see where we're at here. Okay, still only two. But we're past the 3 minute mark, so I guess I'll go over what. So tonight, of course, it's Thursday night again, so we're going to just go over the article from Bleeding Fool on Indie Comic Showcase. We're also going to, of course, we'll have the wrestling wrap up and This Day Needs History before the night is out. So with that, why don't we go ahead and get started then? And as always, if you guys can like and share the stream, see if we can get some more friendly people in here, that'd be appreciated. Also, if anything here grabs your attention, feel free to comment and/or ask questions, and we will do our best to answer those questions. So with that, let me here real quick. Anyways. All right, so with the 244th edition of the Indie Comic Showcase here. Indie Comic Showcase number 244. Amaranth Angels, Stain, and Monkey Bread. Article by Chris Braley, published yesterday. So let's get into this then. Welcome back to another installment of Indie Comic Showcase, the weekly blog where we signal boost a few truly independent comics that are currently crowdfunding their projects, crowdsourcing their funding in some way, or just completely self-publishing on their own. Every little bit of support for these creators matters, from a single dollar pledge to the $25 bundle. And of course, the higher tiers are usually fun too. Even if you can't back a campaign or buy a book, you can share or tweet about these projects to your friends and family followers. Also, of course, you can catch our coverage of this article every Thursday as well. Um, we also try to do our part to help out by covering the article and going over it and sharing the links and all that. So, anyways, um, on Indie Comic Showcase, we interview the creators, show off some art, and tell you how you can check out the product for yourself. Below, we have some outstanding crowdfunding campaigns this week for you to learn about, enjoy, and hopefully support by backing one or more of them. Thanks for checking these out and for being the best part of Indie Comic Showcase. Let's jump in. Amaranth Angels by Yakov Merkin. Salted flower. Amaranth Angels. Some Japanese text there. I wonder if this has got some anime influence here. Well, let me go grab the. This is on a Kickstarter, of course. So. Copy. And before I get into the reading of the article, Angel or Angels? Let me see. Angels, okay, that's good to know. And here, of course, is the link to that. Here's the link to that that Kickstarter. If you guys want to go check that out. All right, so let's get into this article then. Amaranth Angels by Yakov Merkin. Chris Braley, welcome to Indie Comic Showcase, Yakov. Can you give our readers the elevator pitch for Amaranth Angels? Yakov Merkin. Saya Nishizawa was a starfighter pilot prodigy until a tragic accident prompted her to run as far from a cockpit as she could. However, she will soon find her I guess herself, is what it should have said, forced back into action as she and her friends find themselves thrust into a battle across the galaxy, which is far bigger than anything you could have imagined. It's 200 black and white pages of cute anime girls, their starfighters, exciting space battles, and more. Hence the hence the Japanese text there, as it were. That's and we got Kim in here. Let's see. What's your favorite Utu owl? I don't have one. Don't even know what an Utu owl is. All right, what you even talking about? What's your favorite Attack on Titan character? Again, don't have one. What is the status of Rurouni Kenshin 2023 dub? I have no idea. Haven't heard anything on that. Didn't even know they. Well, I guess actually you did mention that before, so you did kind of hear about it before. But will you watch Jujutsu Kaisen? I haven't got around to watching Jujutsu Kaisen at all yet, so probably be a while before I do. Anyways, getting back to the article. Chris, how did this go from an idea to a self-publishing campaign? Yakov, my favorite anime genre is the military moe. In parentheses here, cute girls doing military things genre. So I took my favorite anime in this genre, Girls und Panzer, and mixed it with The Last Starfighter and the best part of Star Wars. In parentheses, the space dogfights. I'd wanted to do a Starfighter adventure story for a while, so I figured I might as well do it with cute anime girls. I've gone the self pub route since I started releasing my prose books and light novels back in 2017. So it was never in doubt that I'd do the same with my comic project. So this sounds like a very interesting project to say the least. Kind of a mix of styles here, mix of genres. See if anything more. Hey, LJR. Let's see. Oh, skipped over it. Let's see. Who's your favorite index character? Misaki. That one I remember. Who's your favorite My Hero Academia character? Deku. Have you watched Full Metal? Yes. Full Metal Panic is another one of my all-time favorites, particularly Fumofu. All right. So anyways, and if you guys can help out by liking and sharing the stream, seeing where you get some more friendly people to engage in here, that'd be appreciated. Also, if anything here grabs your attention, feel free to comment and or ask questions. I'll try to answer the questions to the best of my ability. So continuing on here, Chris, who is Amaranth Angels aimed at? Yakov. Amaranth Angels is suitable for readers of most ages and, of course, fans of manga and anime with military-ish themes. So anyone who enjoys space adventures, space battles, and cute anime girls doing things will enjoy it. Anyways. Yeah, those are some cute girls right there. They can grab the attention of a lot of guys out there. I'm pretty sure. Let's see. Written by Yakov Merkin and illustrated by Philip's son Gasper. All right, let's see now. Hey, Rick, I see you there. Hi, all. Hey, Rick, how are you holding up? All right, all right. So, anyways, let's see. And if you guys can help out by liking and sharing the stream, see if we can get some more friendly people to engage in here, that'd be appreciated. Also, if anything grabs your attention, feel free to comment and or ask questions, and I'll try to answer the questions to the best of my ability. So with that, continuing on with the article here, Chris, what's your experience in comics? Yakov. Amaranth Angels is my first comic, but I've written and published nearly 20 novels and light novels, so I've spent quite a bit of time honing my writing skills. I've also always been an outliner who helped when it came to structuring the manga script and breaking things down into panels. I've also worked with artists enough now to recognize that their input and suggestions are very valuable and can help elevate a project beyond just doing the drawing. Yeah. Some of the penciling here does seem to show kind of a manga feel to it, manga um, touch to it. Chris, who is the artist of this book? Yakov. Philip San Gaspar is an amazingly talented freelance artist who specializes in anime style art. Um, I found him on a freelancer website a few years ago while writing my light novel series. And we've been working together on that. And now Amaranth Angels um, ever since. He does all the covers, internal art, and animation for the trailer. I have also worked with a couple of other freelancers for things like Starfighter concept art, in parentheses here, though I came up with the rough designs myself, on parentheses, and the logo and the original music for the trailer. Okay, so Chris asked, how far along is the book? Yakov. It's a long 200-page book, so that it's still so that it's so that's still a fair bit left to do. The script has been complete for months, as has the 31-page prologue chapter, um, which is free to read on Webtoons. In parentheses here, about half of chapter one has already been sketched, as well as now that work on the animated trailer is complete. Philip, my artist, will be solely focused on the internals. I hope to be able to fulfill ahead of the listed date on the campaign. But ambitious, isn't he? Look at that. Look at those girls. See if you guys are saying anything yet. Let's see now. Any conventions planned in the future, Rick? All right. What lessons on crowdfunding are you learning? Chris asked. Yakov. More than anything else, I learned just how long great animation takes. Laugh out loud. But generally speaking, any art heavy project is going to take time to get done. And that's more to manage from a comic project than a prose book or light novel. Um, but I've managed to adapt well. Chris, are there more stories to tell in this realm you've created? Yakov, this is just volume one, so there'll be plenty more story to come. Too early to say exactly how long the series will be, but I've got several more volumes planned at the minimum. It looks great. Anything else you'd like to share before we sign off? Chris asked. Yakov, I've successfully fulfilled all of my prior crowd funds, and that streak will continue with Amaranth Angels. I can't wait for it to be done and in the hands of the readers. It's been a blast to write and see come to life, and I hope all of my backers um, enjoy it as much as I do. All right, Chris finally says, "Good luck as you wrap up your campaign this week." And if you guys want to check out that campaign, I put the link to the Kickstarter earlier in the chat. So if you guys want to check that out, just scroll up the chat. And I probably at the end will put once again put all of them together. We'll put them out a couple of times. Each once individually and then once all together at the end. So, anyways, getting ready to move on to the next campaign here to be featured. Stain by Michael Joseph Bokenheim, I guess. Okay, 20 minutes again. First thing I have to that plans is on March break. There is a Christian ministry here in Hamilton called Living Rock. It is focused on youth and young adult that said that they do some sort of comic thing during March break. All right. Probably similar to what Chris and Diane are involved with their book fair, I guess in early September. But anyways, back to the article here. Stain by Michael Joseph Bockelman. Michael Joseph Bockelman. And this one looks like a Fun My Comic project. Let me get the... So here's the link for Stain. You guys want to check out that project? There's a link to that. I want to go ahead and check out that project. There it is. Anyway. And as I said before, of course, we'll go back and put all 3 when we're done and then put them all out one more time. So, Chris Braley, welcome to Indie Comic Showcase, Michael. Tell me what Stain is all about. Michael Bockelman. It's a horror anthology series that debuted in 1998, resurrected in 2015, and after many delays, finally back in 2023 with the latest issue. It's a book very much influenced by late 80s, early 90s indie underground titles. It's very much an old school book, but it's not strictly limited to horror. It features action and sci-fi stories as well. So a bit of an anthology here. Chris, what inspired this project? Take us back to the beginning. Michael, the idea was first born in the mid-90s, didn't debut until 1998. When I decided to publish it back then, the industry was in a rut. No one was doing horror anthology books. When it was resurrected, and why I still publish it today, industry not in the best of shape. No one is doing horror anthology like this. Most horror anthology books out there now rely on the old Warren formula, while I'm still here just doing my thing and keeping it true to what was published 25 years ago. Look a little gritty there. Chris, What kind of comic readers is this suited for? Michael. Anyone that digs horror, anyone that misses the boom of the independent creators from the 80s and the 90s, anyone that's tired of digital and AI art and misses the craft that goes into creating books. It's a mature title, but I would consider it graphic or adult. Anyone 14 and up can handle this. Hmm. So, so this sounds like something I think Shadowhawk would be interested in. Um, should probably mention it next time I talk to him. Chris, how did you develop your creative style? Michael, I'm completely self-taught. I've been fortunate to learn under some amazing artists over the years, but my style has certainly been influenced by those artists who love tight line work and realism. Tim Virgil Finley, Reed Crandall, Tim Tyler, Alfred Alcala, especially John Totalban. I still do everything old school, thumbnail everything, go to loose layouts, tighten everything as I go, then fully inking. I go between brush pens and pens with inking. Hmm. Let's see now. Anybody here? Okay. Chris, what other creatives contributed to this project? Michael, besides myself, I brought in a lot of indie veterans and guys who are very respected in the industry. Tim Truman, Tim Vigil, Tim Tyler, David Barber, and Joe Vigil all contributed. I wonder if Tim and Joe Vigil are brothers or something like that. I was very fortunate to have manga legends Shintaro Kago and Toshio Maeda involved. Toshio actually penciled a cover. I inked it, and Tim Tyler colored. So it's really a group effort. Chris, so the book is done and ready for printing. Michael, book is completely done and production is about 65% complete. Should be off to the printer in under 14 days or 2 weeks. My day-to-day life is a bit chaotic with everything that goes on. So to finally have the issue done is a relief, and I'm actually off to a really good start with the following issue. Wow. Quite a visual there. Chris, any lessons you've learned from self publishing that you can share with our readers? Michael, self publishing continues to evolve. When I started in 1998 and was such an old school process of sending original art off to the printer to make plates and print together, or technology has come so far and has become so beneficial to self publishing. Plus, having social media as an outlet to promote has become so critical. This is actually the first book I crowdfunded as well. So probably the biggest hurdle with with that was just calculating shipping around the world. Chris, I know this is an older project than most, but are there more stories to tell? Michael, up next is Stain number 002. Um, Always more stories to tell. The main story to the current issue is called The Devil's Pawn, and I actually see that being being a 4 to 5 year project to complete. So in between that, there will always be more short stories to tell. He's got quite a workload. He's adapting here. Chris, are there any special features available in this campaign? Michael, special features to this issue are I did really limited print numbers with some of the variant covers. There's actually a signed print that is included for everyone without spoiling it and giving too much away. Each print is unique and different, and no two are alike. Chris, good luck on this, Michael. Is there anything else you'd like to share as we wrap up? Michael, anyone interested should give it a chance. I can't even begin to tell you what a labor of love this issue was, and the difficulties and trials I had to go through to make this book see the light of day. Once you open it and see the quality to it, it's a book of horror. A book for horror. It's a book for horror fans, made by horror fans. All right, before we get into the last one, I do need to step away from the computer for a moment, so I'll put some music on to keep you guys entertained while I'm gone. Always, if you guys can like and share the stream, see if we can get some more friendly people here. That'd be appreciated. Also, if anything here grabs your attention, feel free to comment and or ask questions. I'll be right back. As I said, all right, I'm back. So let's get on to the next. Oh boy. All right, so let's get on to the next portion of this article here. Monkey Bread by Adeline Fluve. All right, so let me grab the link there. The Kickstarter campaign. And there's the link to this comic we're looking at here. If you guys want to check that out. Hey, Charlotte, I see you there. If you can, hey there, Mike. If you can help out by liking and sharing the stream, see if we can get some more friendly people in here to engage. We appreciate it. Also, if anything grabs your attention, feel free to comment and or ask questions. And I'll do my best to answer them, as always. So with that, let's get to this article here. Get to this portion of it anyways. Chris Braley. Briefly tell us the elevator pitch for Monkey Bread. Adeline Fleeve or Fluve, I guess. Adeline Fleeve. Monkey Bread is a magical, romantic, dark collection of short story comics for all audiences from our French indie collective, also called Monkey Bread. It features 11 artists from France and Quebec and over 120 pages of full-color original art and stories with monsters, lovers, and mystery galore. Who we have psychopomp mermaids, triple-headed demons with attachment issues, sexy apple trees, okay, and more. It is available in both French and English and written bilingually, which means both versions can be considered the original. So they just wrote the book in both languages right off the bat instead of like writing it in one language and translating it to another. Interesting. Anyways. Let's see. Where Chris asked, where did the idea for this comic come from and made you decide to self-publish it? Adeline, being a freelance illustrator is a lonely job. I realized I didn't enjoy the way I was working, locked in my room with my drawing tablet, pumping out rendition after rendition of what was supposed to be my next Sistine Chapel. For those of you who may not know, Sistine Chapel was said to be the chapel where the roof was painted by the great Michelangelo years ago. At the same time, I wanted to retain the creative control I would get by staying independent, so working for a company that went against my personal values was out of the question. With some other illustrators, we created Monkey Bread, which is all about making work that is fun the whole way through for hopefully even better results. Let's see. Chris then asked, what kind of comic readers is this book aimed at? Adeline, This comic is for adults who like indie, high quality European style comics and lighthearted, spooky, fantastical fun. All of our stories have a little twist, and they go from gothic romance with a dryad uh, to whack to wacky witch addicted to her favorite telenovela. Kids can read it too, but it's not written with kids in mind. So what I think she's saying is kids can read it, but it's not exactly something that they might either get, or some of the material may just be a little too mature for them. That's what I'm guessing. Yeah. So Chris then asked, "What can you tell us about your creative process?" Um, Adeline, Monkey Bread is a new type of model focused on collaboration that changes the power dynamic between editors, authors, illustrators. Illustrators say what they're interested in, authors write a story that fits their vibe, and the editor oversees everything to see that it goes smoothly. The idea was to create an environment where we could um, be mutually excited about our work and basically send each other fan art to our own projects, so that the process was as exciting as the final product. Chris, um, what other people helped with this project? Adeline, there are about 20 of us in the collective, but 11 of us on this book. Even those who didn't actively participate in the book would sometimes pitch in with advice and ideas. We range from TV writers to video game graphic designers to editorial character designers and more. We have a very varied cast of talents and opinions, and that makes our work completely weird and exciting. Um, but it is still held together um, by our editor, so that it stays accessible. For our first book, we wanted to create a relaxing, fun read full of spooky little heartthrobs. Hmm. Chris, what's your production workflow like? Let's see. Let's see. Adeline, I interviewed each of our 9 illustrators and our one colorist, listened to their recommendations, and then read and watched all their favorite um, media to understand them as best I could. Then I drew and wrote a 10-page storyboard for each of them and improved it with their feedback. We've been sending each other concept art for a year now and fan screening over our own drawings, and we're bursting to show um, you what we've been plotting behind closed doors. Hey, Chris, in your opinion, what's the worst thing about crowdfunding comics? Wow, that's interesting. we haven't actually heard him ask that one before. That's an interesting question. Let's see. Adeline, shipping is the bane of our existence. Politically, the fact that shipping is so high um, has massive consequences in terms of experiences and cultural content that a layman has access to. No matter the price, though, we wanted monkey bread to be available internationally so that we could share our worldview with as many people as possible. Sadly, this comes at a cost that might become our downfall, but it is maybe one of our most important commitments. Any plans beyond this book? Anything you can share with us? Chris asks. Adeline answers. We have a few author illustrated teams. Illustrated teams waiting to see how our first book performs, ready to pitch their own stories for long form one shots. Honestly, we're all raring to go. Here are a couple of other books that are nearly fully storyboarded and just need a time and a place. Philosophical stories about the impact of belief on the human mind, featuring a cast of unhinged talking animals, a political rom com in a Paris dog cafe featuring Senegalese and Chinese immigrants, and many more. Oh, now that's interesting take on the Sphinx in Egypt. Oh, that's just something else. That visual is just something else. Uh, anyways, any special features you'd like to mention about this book? Chris asks. Adeline answers. One of the most interesting things about Monkey Bread is how it is made. So the making of the in parentheses here the full book as a black and white storyboard commentary parentheses is available at our macaron tier. At our halfway point, we will also release our font in parentheses that we made ourselves because we realized during our creation process that finding a completely free, well-kerned font for dialogue isn't as easy as it sounds. A font can sometimes be the difference between a professional comic and something else entirely. So we thought we could help out our other indies get started too. There's also some exclusive original watercolors available, and if we reach our farthest stretch goals, we have 2 extra stories. Messy lip there, huh? Yes. Sounds good. Any final words for this week's edition of Indie Comics? For this week's edition of Indie Comics Showcase Readers, Adeline, Monkey Bread is 2 things. On one hand, it is a really sweet, feel-good romance with extremely talented indie artists who are dedicated to making something that they thought you would enjoy with us. On the other, it is a political stand. We want to push for alternative ways to work. They're easier, kinder, and more fun for everyone. We want to have an option away from big publishing houses in France that have proven time and time again that they rarely have us on our work's best interests or work's best interest at heart. And we want to reach out internationally to take a stand against governments that muzzle and divide us as people for capitalistic reasons. Oh boy. We realize the shipping price is obnoxious, but every cent counts, and we highly recommend getting a digital version of the comic. It is cheaper, you will get it faster, and still allow us to share our work in a meaningful way. That's it for this installment. If you're a creator ramping up your own campaign or have a comic available for purchase online and you want to be featured in our weekly column, click here. And follow Indie Comic Showcase on Twitter at Indie Comics and reach out to them for more eyes on your crowdfunding comic project. Till next time, support Indie Comics. All right, so there we go with that one. So there we go with that one. We're at the 51-minute mark now. So of course, one of the other things I'm going to do here before we move on to the wrestling wrap up is I'm going to of course go back and grab the link here that is shared earlier. All right. Actually, that's right. Probably do it actually on. How do I do this then? How exactly do I? How do I recopy the? It's really. No, no. Not what I want. Anyway, I guess I'll have to. I'll have to go back and manually do it. All right, so let me go grab the other two as well here. Okay, so here are the three comics that were featured in this week's Indie Comic Showcase. If you guys want to go check them out, there's a link to Amaranth Angels on Kickstarter. Here's the link to Stain, that's on Fund My Comic. And there's the link to Monkey Bread on Kickstarter. So if you guys want to go check those out, you're more than welcome to go ahead and do so. Anyways, we're going to get into the wrestling wrap-up here. Not a whole lot going on. Well, actually, there's been quite a bit in turn from at least more from AEW and from AEW and Impact. As Impact, of course, is preparing for Bound for Glory this Saturday. We'll get into that in a moment here. But on last night's Dynamite, number of things happened. The big story actually was Sting announcing his retirement. Now he plans on having his last match at AEW's Revolution 2024, which will be a few weeks before his 65th birthday. Sting has had quite a career, multiple-time NWA World Heavyweight Champion, multiple-time WCW World Heavyweight Champion. Man is considered an icon in the sport. When he came to AEW, he took Darby Allin under his wing and has helped him grow as a star. From the Surfer Sting that many of us initially saw him as, to the Pro Sting that he's become in his later years. He's been quite a remarkable man. So last night he announced that he plans on having his final match at 2024's Revolution, which I think will be coming up in the early part of next year there. Also been talked that he does want Darby Allin somehow a part of it. So we'll wait and see what all happens with that. Also, on last night's Dynamite, Jay White defeated Penta El Zero Miedo. Hikaru Shida staved off a challenge from Emi Sakura, who was seeking to try to earn a shot at Shida's AW World Women's Championship. This is a battle of teacher versus student, of course. Wardlow, once again, as he has the last few weeks, came in and dominated, finished off Ryan Nemeth with one powerbomb. Match that didn't even last 30 seconds, 26 to be exact. Kenny Omega defeated Kyle Fletcher. Lance Archer, in just over a minute, defeated Barrett Brown. And then in the Dynamite Diamond Ring Battle Royal, Juice Robinson outlasted 11 other competitors to earn a shot at MJF next week for the Dynamite Diamond Ring. So that all happened on now, of course, this weekend is also this Saturday is Bound for Glory. Bound for Glory coming from Cicero Stadium in Cicero, Illinois. Cicero, Illinois. And signed for Bound for Glory for the main event. We'll see Alex Shelley defend the Impact World title against Josh Alexander. Alexander, who had never actually lost the title, was forced to forfeit due to injury, is seeking to get it back. Shelley's been playing the heel a bit of late as he's felt slighted at what he perceives as Alexander's lack of respect for him. let's see, Mike Bailey, a three-time X Division champion. Mike Bailey will be taking on Will Ospreay, coming in from New Japan to face off against him. Trinity defends the Impact Knockout World title against Mickie James in a very similar situation to the main event, as Mickie James again did not actually lose her last knockout title. She was forced to vacate due to an injury. So, but this matchup has seemingly at least been set up in a bit more friendlier manner, with a sign of mutual respect for the two women. Chris Sabin defends the X Division title against New Japan's Kenta. Impact Knockouts tag team titles will be defended as MK Ultra of Killer Kelly and Masha Slamovich defend against the Virtuosa Diona Purrazzo and the Boricua Badass Tasha Steelz. Ace Austin and Chris Bay will be getting their shot, their chance to reclaim the Impact World Tag titles, as well as getting a chance for a little bit of revenge against the Rascals, who has since been admitted to having bought the services of Good Hands to basically try to screw over Austin and Bay. In a four-way Monsters Ball match, PCO will be taking on Rhino. They'll also be taking on Steve Macklin and Moose. Those four men will be involved in the Monsters Ball four-way match. And the Call Your Shot Gauntlet match will be happening, as two participants have already been announced, as Dirty Dango and Jake Something will be involved in that gauntlet match, in which Dirty Dango has the final spot in the gauntlet, and Jake Something has an unenviable task of starting from number one. So that's all the wrestling news I have for you guys. So now what we'll do is we will today being Thursday, October 19th, 2023, we'll take a look back this day in each history. History! So with that, actually, before I do that, let me just remind myself of the actual stuff here. 1993, 98, 43, and 18. Okay, so without any further ado here, first off, I'd like to wish a happy 80th birthday. To voice actor Roger Parsons. Most people know him as the voice. He also has gone by the name Ken Gates before. He's not his prime. The thing most people would know him as is for the English dub of Pokemon. He's the voice of the narrator. So happy 80th birthday to Roger Parsons, who of course is the English dub voice of the narrator for Pokemon, the Pokemon franchise. With that, we'll move on to the next piece in each history as we move ahead to 1993. As on this date in 1993, the 275th and final issue of Conan the Barbarian went on sale from Marvel Comics on this date back in 1993, 30 years ago today. So for $250 with 64 pages. The name of the story was Cry Kozak, as it was written by Roy Thomas, penciled by Mike Doherty, inked by Richard Viagran, lettered by John Costanza, and colored by Nelson Yomloff. So on this date, 30 years ago today, the 275th and final issue of Conan from Marvel Comics went on sale on this date back in 1993. Moving on to the next piece of niche history. We move ahead to 1998. On this date in 1998, from the Bradley Center in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, WWE held its Monday Night Raw event the night after their In Your House Judgment Day pay-per-view. The main event saw Kane and Undertaker battle to a no contest in a casket match, as the two of them had the night before had co-won the WWE WWF championship at the time. Also, on the night, Val Venus defeated Mankind. He had Terry Rowan corner. The Headbangers defeated LOD 2000, and X-Pac defeated Ken Shamrock. So on this date, 25 years ago today, WWE held its Monday Night Raw event from the Bradley Center in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And finally, 5 years ago today, on this date, 5 years ago today, the last movie in the Magical Girl Lyrical Nanaho series, Detonation, premiered in Japanese theaters on this date back in 2018. So 5 years ago today, Seven Arcs Pictures Magical Girl Lyrical Nanaho Detonation premiered in Japanese theater on this date 5 years ago today. Oh, there we go with that one. I thank everybody for being here tonight. Don't forget, we'll be back here tomorrow night with our historical comic retrospect. My co-host will be Rick Piper from Cross Comics. We will be looking at comics that went on sale back in December 1939 from Fox Features Syndicate. So with that, I hope everybody had a good night tonight, and we will see you all tomorrow. Bye.